students. Welcome back in the lecture of Standard 9. This is the lecture number 1 and we are having the poem number 5, that is the Legend of Northland. So we are going to have the poem number 5, A Legend of Northland. In our syllabus there is no poem number 4, that has been excluded, that's why we will not see that poem. Fine. The Legend of Northland, by the heading, by the title, we are feeling such like that this is like a poem which is on one person, on one personality, famous personality who is having the good characteristic. It is not so, right? The Legend of Northland is totally different. This is a very long poem which is based on one story, right? So this is a poem, is telling us a story. Fine. So let's start. The poem is all about one lady and one saint, that is a Saint Peter, right? So there was a Saint Peter, and we know that the life of saints, the life of monks, the life of fakirs, right, it is totally different than us. They are just roaming, they are just walking through the roads and mountains and rivers and going everywhere. It means they are just trying to walk through the world, right? And they are not having any home, they are not having any particular place to live. It means they are having, but they don't want to live in that, right? So this is what the life of saints, they have get rid out of, right, that what human characteristics are there. It means humans are having the greediness, they are having the like jealousies and whatever the things and these feelings are there, they already have get rid out of each and everything, and after all of that they are very satisfied, right? And they are having the very high levels spiritual powers, right? In the past, in the history, we have seen in ancient time, we have heard so many stories such like that they are having so much power, right? If they are in meditation and someone is just trying to disturb him or her, right, they are having power to just like opposite person will start to burn. So that kind of powers they are having. We know that, right? Here that Saint Peter is going to the villages and villages, he is going to the towns and towns. One day Saint Peter is coming to one village. There was one lady who was just having cake shop, right? It means she was only just making the cake, she was only just baking the cake, and she was only the selling of cake. Now see, obviously that we know that saints are having particular rules and regulations in their life. It means many a times we have heard that they are taking food only one time in a day, right? If from one place they will not get, they will be hungry for whole day, फिर दूसरी बार नहीं मांगेंगे, पूरा दिन भूखा रहेंगे अगर एक जगह पे मांगा और नहीं मिला तो. So this was like Saint Peter was walking through the villages and after a long walk he is coming to one village, because in previous time it was a very long distance in between the villages also. So here Saint Peter is coming to a lady. Why? Because for whole day he had eaten nothing, and she Saint Peter was feeling like fainted. Obviously you just imagine that if for whole day we are not eating anything or we are not drinking anything, how would be the situation of ours, right? This is truly something like different than how we will have the things, right? So this is what exactly the situation of Saint Peter was, that he was feeling fainted. For whole day he had eaten nothing. Fine. Now he is reaching to that lady's cake shop and asking for that oh lady, give me a cake, right, to satisfy my hunger. I am Saint Peter. Now we will discuss about the human characteristics. In that, the first is coming greed. What is greed? Right? If we are having two apples, if we are able to see that there is a poor child, right? If we say yes or no, but I'm definitely sure that 60% of us will not give one apple to that poor one. This is a fact, right? फिर हम खाते नहीं है 2 दिन तक और तीसरे दिन वो बिगड़ जाता है और मम्मी या पापा फ्रिज में से निकाल के फेंक देते हैं. ऐसा भी होता है. But we are having 2 apples, we are walking on the road and we are finding, or means we are able to observe one poor child. Then too we are not having that much big heart to give. Many a times it happened. So here we are going to discuss about the characteristic of the human being. And obviously the lady was also a human being. Lady was having cake shop, as we have already earlier discussed. Now lady was so greedy regarding the food that this person is coming to ask for a cake and I have to give in a free, right? Because saint के पास तो कोई money होते नहीं है, उनके पास तो पैसे होते नहीं है और उनको तो हम free में ही देते हैं ना. It means यहाँ पे मैं बोल रही हूँ free में, exactly it is like हम देते हैं, दान करते हैं उनका, right? Food का दान करते हैं हम. So lady was knowing that he is a Saint Peter, right? He is a saint and he is not going to pay me anything. So what she has decided, see, she has decided that I'll make smaller cake in compared to routine and I'll give. She prepared the things, she put in a baking, and whenever the cake is baked, she was feeling that this cake is so big to give in a free. Mind, what we were discussing, the greed in the mind, right? Many of people are having that kind of a mindset that saint और वो सब आते हैं ना, तो उनको देने के लिए like इतना सा देते हैं, 2 रोटी, इतनी सी सब्जी. What did it mean by beta? Right? We know that there is nothing like good as, right? We are having some proverbs also in Gujarati and Hindi and English, right? So many proverbs regarding the benefits of this, right? So here lady was not able to understand this, right? Lady was just thinking that this is too big to give for free. Now what she will do? She has put that cake, which was already smaller than routine, she has put this cake on shelf. She has put this cake on shelf and started to bake the another cake which will be smaller than the previous, right? What she has done, that it was near about that, which was quite smaller to that. Whenever the cake was baked, she felt that oh my god, this is again very big cake to give in a free to Saint Peter. And yes, Saint Peter was waiting for that when the lady will bake the cake and will give me. And here the lady was baking the cake one by one, but she was feeling that this cake is so big to give in a free to Saint Peter. Again, she has kept that cake and put in the shelf. Now she will bake a cake like wafer. You see, that much thin, so we can able to understand that how there is like that much greediness in the mind of this lady. So this lady is just trying to bake a cake like a wafer, and after baking a cake, whenever she is taking in the hand, she is telling that oh my god, this is also very large, very big to give in a free. You see, it is like as thin as wafer, and then too the lady is not able to give this cake to the Saint Peter in a free. because she is feeling that I'm not able to get any kind of rupees, all right, on if I'm just selling this. And she was thinking like that too, that whenever I'm just baking a cake for myself, every cake is looking like a small, and whenever it is time to give in a free to Saint Peter, every cake is looking like so big. Now Saint Peter got angry because since long he was waiting and waiting and waiting, and his lady was not giving a cake. So Saint Peter became angry and he told that you are not deserving in the form of human being. It means human are having greediness, but this much greed of food is not good. You are not good. You are not at the right place at a form of human being. Now what the Saint Peter will do? Saint Peter will curse this lady. Right? Saint Peter is telling that everyone is having their three needs, that shelter, then food, right? And the necessary things. Now Saint Peter is just giving curse to the lady that you are having a greed of food. I'm just giving you curse that you will transform yourself in such a way that you have to work very, 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 very hard to find your food. You have to work very, very, very hard to have your food. And Saint Peter is just doing some magic, and this lady is coming from the chimney, and outside in a one bird is having a little cap which remains the same, rest of everything has been changed. And it was the bird. Which bird? That you have to tell in the end. That bird was having the drilling in the tree. Can you imagine who is that bird? What I'm talking about? Yes, that bird is woodpecker. We know that woodpecker had to do a lot of hard work for food. He had to drill in this tree, in every tree. So this was like a folklore, right? We are not able to say sure that this is right or wrong, but generally we are having each and everything like such, that it is having the right one. So here we are ending up this poem. We know that if we are having a human being, right, if we are in a form of human being, we are not supposed to have that much greediness, right? We have to be kind to everyone, and we have to give as much as we can give. So here we are completing your poem number 5, which is the Legend of Northland. So till time, goodbye, take care, have a nice day, thank you.
आभार।